Treating your evaluations, especially with something like Apex, where you can pass in a day, or like, what is it, My Funded Futures or Funding Ticks, a couple of them all have like pass in a day things. Honestly, don't. Like, maybe don't. There's some song I love that's called Maybe Don't, and my daughter hates it because I play it all the time. Honestly, just don't. Treat your evaluation like your practice ground, especially the ones that when you have these activation fees. First off, activation fees, but secondly, it's not just that, it's the fact that psychology changes so much when you go from the PA to from the eval. I don't know what it is. Like, it's almost like it feels supernatural, okay? But it's like a different market when you're in your PA accounts, when you're pro accounts, right? It's different. So maybe instead of trying to pass in a day, this is why we have this in here, like how many days it's going to take to pass, like how many trades. Honestly, fine. I would want whatever lot size you guys choose to be one that kind of lines up with, hey, it takes me 10 days. And what I'm also going to write in here is something along the lines of like, so fine, it's 3 or 4 days before billing. That's the only time you YOLO, okay? The only time you're allowed to YOLO is when you have 3 days left before the next rebill date. And that's it. And otherwise, we don't YOLO. I don't care if you have $50 left in that account, that eval. And that's hard, but that's what treating it like a business actually means. So getting back to that, number one, yeah, evals, best practice, honestly, stop treating it like I gotta pass it fast so now I can make the money. You're never gonna make the money. How about pass it, like practice proving you can get 10 days. Practice proving that you can honestly lock yourself out at 200 or 3, whatever your goal is, okay? So whatever your daily targets are, maybe your trading plan, the way you trade, the lot sizes, the contract sizes, the time of day you trade, the instrument you trade is equivalent to, if you took 2 or 3 trades, you're going to come out with $300. If you took 1 to 3 trades, you're going to come out with $300. Cool. That's the one that we're going to use. You're going to lock your account when you're up or down $300, no matter what. Okay, no matter what. Here's the point of that. Those people who are, and then YouTube is getting so much bigger these days, but the people who are showing this kind of this huge payout, I'll use the Facebook guy. He posted he withdrew 110,000. You need to know he was on eval number 1,000 something. Okay, so put that in perspective for a second. Okay, that means he's tried and failed 1,000 times. Number one. Number two, he withdrew 100 to whatever 1,000, which means he took $2,000 out a couple of times, at least 5 of the times, right? But that was based off of a 60-day trading account. And his average, if you start to do the math, and that's what I was doing, that's what prompted me to start this. Start to do the math, his average over these PAs have been traded for whatever, 60 some odd days. The average he was getting is somewhere around 600 on the day, which I'm assuming kind of comes out in the wash from, what do you call it? Lost days, bigger days, losing, winning days, the whole nine. But the average he got on average was about $600 a day in a quarter, guys. Because the viral thing we're aspiring to on YouTube, and I'm definitely part of that. Let's just take the 300 and the 500. Let's skip the twos because we know that's not as sexy and as exciting. Let's skip the 750s and the thousands. Let's just kind of look at this middle ground here. That's based off of having that account for about a quarter. Okay. I'm roughing it here. We know that 50, 60 days, 70 days, those are different, but it's roughly about a quarter. That's where these payouts come in. So averaging that $500, that payout, this is obviously needs to come out in the wash because it's going to have, what is that? The percentages and other things. But this is assuming that you had only an 80% day win rate. Okay. This is still possible if you just decided to stop trading. Okay. Oh, and he had 6 accounts. So that's where the 110,000 came in. So 6 accounts, 110,000, took 60 some odd days to get there. Mind you, it took a lot of time and there's a lot invested in this. Okay. But that's possible. But we're not looking at this like a business. We're not looking at this like, hey, my only job is to come and find the best couple of trades. I'm only allowed 3 and I'm locking myself out. And that's I think the benefit of Project X is they have a lot of lockout features that will allow you to trail your, how much you've lost in the day. They'll allow you to minimize how many minis or macros you're taking. You're allowed to lock yourself out during certain sessions. Now, granted, I think we should have better self-control than that, but I digress. Treat this like you're not looking for this month. Treat this like you're not trying to get a payout today. Treat this like, hey, I'm trying to make this account last 60 days. Okay. And the best way to do that is going to be probably targeting closer to the 2, 3, 500 level. Okay. Probably, Kenneth just got 250. Okay. 250 and 5 accounts done. but target this for a while, because right now you don't need another evaluation. Fine, do 5 accounts. I'm 100% for it. Use code 6FTC. Make sure to take Profit Trader. I think it's better. I think the cost of the account is also cheaper, but that's my opinion. And just practice holding the account. Like, your goal is not to get the payout. You're gonna get the payout. Instead of trying to get this payout that's $3,000 or typically $2,000, quit looking at this. And so not even look at this. I kind of want to delete the yearly one, but that's just for reference. I want people to start seeing this quarterly whatever, because this is what people are posting. When the big guy on YouTube posted he made whatever amount of money, I think even Kane, I think his account was 100 days, give or take. That big old payout was 100 days. Now, granted, he's doing minis per every 2,500, I think. One mini per every 2,500-ish. Don't quote me. Either way, JCap, doing a certain amount per every bigger amount. You'll get to this. You'll get bigger. And remember, they had 20 accounts. This is worth the same thing that JCap made and Kane made if you had 20 accounts and did this. Literally, that's what this is worth. But we're never going to get there if we're like, hey, I only have $500. I'm going to blow it. Instead, I want you to treat your eval like it's the best practice. I only have $500. I still have 2 weeks until rebuild date. I'm not buying a reset. Okay. I want you to go to one micro and just trade it. You trade it like your job is to practice holding the account for 10 days. Because our job is not to make money today. I think what I'm trying to recognize is my job is to hold the account for 20 days. My job is to hold the account for 60 days, you guys. That's your only job. Don't look at payouts. Don't look at nothing else. Your job is just to hold the account. And you might find, hey, I kind of suck. And that hurts our feelings. I get it. You might find that you have a 60-day winning ratio. So it kind of feels like you're spinning your wheels. And everybody I know who's walking away right now, there's a couple people I really love who are like, I just can't manually trade. I don't want to do this. It's too stressful. I get it. This has been a hard year. Ask anybody. The ATR has fluctuated more in the last year than it has in many, many decades before that. I agree, obviously. And plus, some of us have just transitioned to futures, so the price action is a little different, and we're really on that micro time frame. But truthfully, even if you have technically one net positive day a week, one losing day eats the other winning day, one losing day eats the other winning day, net positive on the week, okay? On 5 accounts, only at $200, okay? $200. By 20 accounts, you're still looking at $250,000 a year. Probably 150,000 after all the fees and stuff, but that's wild.
Yeah, that's definitely insane. But yeah, you drive home a lot of good points on that. And one other thing too that you mentioned on the being strategic with the rebuild dates and picking and choosing when to YOLO. The other thing too that people should keep in perspective, I'll use myself as an example. Sometimes you can lose sight of the fact of, like, let's say you built the account and you've had, like, over a course of like several weeks, 3 weeks or whatever. Let's say you're trying to reach your 3K target and you're at like 2,500 and you got 2 days until the rebuild date. You know what I mean? You have to sort of keep it in perspective. Now, should I risk the whole account for a $50 rebuild? Or since I'm already up, should I just trade like I've normally been trading? And then, yeah, it sucks to be charged another $50, right? But basically, if I just follow my plan and do what I've been doing and what's been bringing me successful, eventually this account will pass, and then that'll be the 2,000 or whatever I have at my disposal to actually get a payout, because that's the main goal. So again, you got to keep that in perspective of where you are and sort of what your risk tolerance is. Pick and choose when you do want to go more aggressive.
100%. Now that's a good point too, because some people are up at the end of their rebuild. I didn't think of that. Like, if you're up already, for the love of God, we're not trying to YOLO that. I'm talking like the people who barely have. They got, oh well, my account's down right now. I may as well buy another challenge versus trade the 500, so I get back to a $2,500 drawdown, right? Even if you only have a small amount of drawdown left, trade it like your job is not to win money. Trade it like your job is to execute great trades and maintain that account for 70 days. Because if you can maintain that account for 70 days, that one account, which you've already invested the $3,200 in, is going to pay you. Okay, it will pay you if you can keep it for 75 days. It will pay you. I don't know. I'm just kind of excited about this. I know it sounds so simple, but I needed something to compartmentalize, because I think, again, it's very difficult for me to calculate percentages based off of the immense amount of floating variables. And when I say floating variables, remember, my goal was to mirror a lot of different prop firms. I also think that's what hindered me the most, because I did just fine when I just traded Topstep. I did just fine when I just traded Apex. I did just fine when I just traded Take Profit Trader. But the more I've tried to marry them all, the worse I did by far. It's okay, I'm sticking with it. I'm gonna probably end up just probably trading them one day at a time or 1 week at a time is probably likely what I'm gonna end up doing, but we'll see. As I release automation, I want people to know, even if all you got was $200 and you have red days, okay, it's okay. This net profitable, okay? And if we break down the costs, okay, like, hey, the prop firm costs this, the VPS, like, we don't need a VPS for this, but if you did need a VPS and we're trading like Ninja Trade or something, the VPS costs this, and maybe you bought the Replicanto thing or you bought whatever, okay? Here's all the costs. This after costs, after splitting percentages and then taking 50% of that and putting it into your live account. So now you're mirroring that as part of it. This big process is very, very within your reach. It's very, very in your hands, because this is not nothing. Right now, it looks small. I mean, it looks small to me, but 260,000, assuming that this cost you 500, maybe 750, the broker you're using, and you just stopped blowing it, or fine, maybe you had to double that. Let's say you had to do that once a quarter because you messed them up, and you failed for 1 quarter, kind of going off that same failure percentage, you still made 150,000. And that's after assuming you failed 1 quarter, you had to buy a new challenge every quarter, and you split 90%, you still made $150,000. And my goal is to help you guys do that with automation. And the same thing with Dragonfly. That thing will make you $50,000, $100,000 a year. It will not do that if you are constantly looking for more. If you're constantly trying to get to here, you're gonna fall on your face. So